All right, Karina. So we were doing chord changes and the pentatonic stuff today. Right. So with the chord changes, I think you get the idea now. Anyway, right. So it's all about just making sure that you're not wasting any, putting in any extra movement that you don't need. Right. So if we take the example of the Count on Me, I think it is Bruno Mars. So from here, we're just pivoting around to the E minor. So there's C there. Instead of taking it all off and putting it all back on again, third finger comes away, and this one comes from here right up to there. So no wasted movement. And just go back and forward and back and forward. So that's a nice easy one because they've got that middle finger position in common, right? And same again with the A minor. So this time middle finger it's on the same fret, but it just needs to scooch back a bit. So from E minor, scooch it back, get your first finger, first fret, second string, and then this one comes over the top. Now it's important that you try and do all of these little things at the same time. Okay, so that means slowing it right down and just thinking it through every step of the way. Come back at the same time. So you're scooching back, this one comes around, this one's coming in, all at the same time. So no matter how slow you need to do it to get it like that, practice it like that and then build up the speed from there, right? Because you always want to get the best, most efficient way of doing something, even if it's not the most natural way. If it's the best and most efficient way of doing it, get into that habit, and then your upper limit of how quick you can do it will be much higher than doing it some other way that's not quite as efficient, okay? So, E minor, switch back. So very small movements. Then the next chord was G. So remember how these two fingers here have roughly the same shape here as they do for G up here, with the exception of the fact that there's a string between them here, whereas there's none here, but it's more or less the same. So these two can move kind of as a unit almost, as one unit up to here. Third finger is just going from here to here. So it shouldn't go back here or up here. It should just go straight from there to there, while these two are coming from here up to here. Okay, so there's a bit of thought in it, but just the real thing is just doing it over and over and over again. So there, nice and slow at first to G. So no wasted movement. These two move as a unit together, and as they're doing that, this one comes from there to there. And then the last one was to the F. So again, these two have exactly the same shape relative to each other here, here. So again, they can just move as a unit from there straight down to there. This one is just coming here, up there. So your third finger shouldn't come down here, okay? Because it doesn't need to. It just needs to go from here straight down to there. So get a better view of that. So these two moving as a unit. Back the way there. And over and over and over again, just to get used to those movements. And then, to go back to the C from there, all you have to do is hop these two up. But again, it shouldn't be this, then this. It should be both of them at the same time. All right, so there's that. And then there was the pentatonic stuff. So the scale, first of all. Okay. So our licks, we've got them written down anyway, but just to go over them again was. Oh, let's try that again. So pull off, slide. Then the other one was. So open third fret, open second fret on the next string, just hit the second fret on the next string, open E, then the E minor chord. Okay? So you can do these at any speed, And then the other one was. Okay. So you got this written down, but watch the pick. So down, up, down, up, pull off, up. Okay? well, just back a bit. And remember, that's starting with its bottom note as an E, so that means it's the E minor pentatonic scale. Okay, if I start, let's say, on an A note, and I go up from it, then the A note is the bottom one, so that's the minor. So that's A minor. Okay, so if I have an A note here, but that's the top note on this string, so then it would be, then it's A major. Bit of food for thought as well. That means it's also whatever this note is in minor. So that's E, F, F sharp. So it's F sharp minor and A major. Okay, so again, if it doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. I wouldn't expect it to, but you at this point, this early on, but you want to just kind of keep thinking about it in these terms, and it will kind of eventually sink in. So just another example: if we start off, if we want B minor, we find B on the fretboard on the E string, and that's our bottom. It's minor, so it's a bottom note. So we're going up from that. If it's B major, we find our B note, but now that's our top note. So there's that B major. Okay. E major, we find our E note, but that's the top. It's major, so it's the top one. So we're going here. There's our E note, and it's the top note on this string now because it's major. So just have a think about that, okay? And then we'll clarify it a bit more next week. But main thing is to play it, okay? Just practice the scale, get nice and familiar with it. Use the pull-offs on the way down, maybe. Well, it should be different fingers. Hammer-ons on the way up. And just play around with it. See what happens. All right, I'll talk to you next week.